Hey everybody, it's Cal here from Wise Guys Tutoring. This is our final video for the algebraic solving series, if you will. It's 3-step algebraic solving, which is not that bad because it's basically a combination of the skills that we learned in the first 2 videos. Okay, the only difference here is basically I'm going to put variables on both sides. Ooh, scary. But not really, because you're going to use the combination of the skills that you learned in the first 2 videos. And if you haven't seen those, then I recommend you watch them. So here we go. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, well, let's talk about operations and inverses, right? So hopefully, like I said, you've seen the videos, and I'll just go through this a little quickly. We've got operations, and they each have their own inverse. So these are the operations we're talking about: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And their inverses respectively are subtraction, addition, division, and multiplication. And whenever I say, inverses, what do I mean? I mean that they undo each other. So we can use them to kind of cancel out the other one. So we can start now with an example, because that's the best way to do it. Let's say I have 3x plus 7 equals 2x plus 9. So you'll notice now that this time I have variables on both sides, right? It's not a big deal, but the first thing I gotta do is get those constants on one side. So let's say I decide to move the 7 over here. How would I move him? Well, since it's a plus 7, I'm gonna say minus 7. And we all know what the jealous sibling says. He says, me too, me too, me too. And that means that he's going to have to get a minus 7 as well. Now these two we know will cancel each other out. And what I'm left with is 3x equals 2x plus 9 minus 7. So now we got all the constants on the right side, and that's great. But I still want to get all my x's on the other side. So I'm going to have to move this 2x all the way left. Now, how do I do that? It's the exact same concept, okay? Since he's a plus 2x, it's a positive 2x, I'm going to put a minus 2x. Minus 2x, because that's the inverse of plus 2x. And the left side is now the jealous guy who says me too, me too, me too. And I have to do a minus 2x on this side. So on the right side, these two x's cancel out, same as the constants did. It's the same thing that you were doing with the numbers, you just do it with the variables now. So what you have remaining on the left side is 3x minus 2x equals 9 minus 7. Now the right side's a little bit easier for you probably, so 9 minus 7 is just 2. And when you are subtracting variables, you need to pretend like, they are objects. So for example, 3 apples minus 2 apples equals 1 apple. So 3x minus 2x is just x. And there you go. It's actually already solved for us. So that's x equals 2. Now we're never done because we always got to check that answer. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. I like to use green to check because I feel like you'll get it correct and you get a green check mark. So all I'm going to do is take my original equation and I'm going to substitute the number 2 wherever I see the variable x. And if it equates, then that's it. We're done. So 3 times 2 plus 7 equals 2 times 2 plus 9. Supposedly, allegedly. So let's check. This is 6. 6 plus 7 equals 4 plus 9. And that's 13 equals 13. Yes, they equate. That means we got the right answer, x equals 2. So just a quick recap. Basically, you want to get your constants on one side. Doesn't matter which side, right, left, whatever you want, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then the next step is you got to get the x's on the other side. Okay, so that's what happens by this point here. If you'll notice, all my x's are on one side and all the variables are on the other side. Okay, then you do your arithmetic and you end up with, well, in this case we got lucky and we got x equals 2, which is great. So why don't we try another example now? Let me clear this board and let's do another example. So let's say I have 4x minus 5 equals x plus 4. So again, you notice we have variables on either side. So what I'm going to try to do is get all the constants on the right side. That means I got to move my -5, and my -5 gets undone by +5. Jealous brother says, me too, me too, me too. And there you go. This 5 cancels out. Now what's my next step? I am left with 4x equals x plus 4 plus 5. Okay, don't be in a rush to solve everything. Just trust me. To start off, just get all the variables on one side and get all the x's on the other side. It'll work a lot easier, believe me. So in this case now, I got all my constants on the right side. That means I got to get my x here on the left side. Since it's a plus x here, all I got to do is say minus x, right? That's the inverse. And the left side is jealous, says me too, me too, me too, and he gets a minus x too. These two cancel out. Now what do I have remaining? I have 4x minus x on the left and 4 plus 5 on the right side. So 4x minus x, how much is that? Best thing to do is think of them as objects. So it's like 4 books minus 1 book. Well, I end up with 3 books. 4 plus 5 is 9. I'd like to just take a chance here to remind you that when you don't see a number, don't assume it's 0. It's not 0, it's 1. We just don't write 1x. Nobody writes 1x. You know why? Because 1x is just x. 1 doesn't change, anything. So there's no need to write it. In any case, so you end up with 3x equals 9. Now we have a normal one-step operation to deal with. And since these two are being multiplied, as you remember, the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'll divide by 3 on the left side. Right jealous side says me too, gets divided by 3 as well. This 3 cancels with this one. And you end up with x equals 9 divided by 3, which is 3. Let's check it really quick. Here's checking. So how do we check? We just put our original equation and then we substitute our answer and we see if it works out. And trust me, you do not want to skip the check. I know sometimes in a test or something like that, you might not have that much time. But if you do, I implore you to do this, because believe me, you catch mistakes and you will see a lot of, mistakes being saved and points being earned. So here we go. 4 times 3, that's 12 minus 5. Here you have 3 plus 4, that's 7. So 7 equals 7. You're in heaven. There's your answer. Boom. So that's it. That's how you do these 3 steps. They call it like a 3-step because your first step is trying to get the constants on one side and get the x's on the other. And then what you're left with is just this one step of multiplying or dividing. So I hope that's pretty clear for you now. If you need a little more practice or you're a little rusty on some of these steps that we were doing here, then I recommend you watch the first couple of videos on the 1-step and 2-step algebraic solving, because the principles really are the same. The only difference is that you're trying to gather the constants and gather the variables. Another new, it's not really new, but it's new for you and I, is that we were adding and subtracting some variables. And it's not that bad. You just think of them as objects and it gets a lot easier. 4 apples minus an apple, or 2 apples plus 3 apples, and you get apples back. So you get x's back. You just focus on the numbers and keep the variable there. That'll be fine. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, please do it below, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.